What's the darkest secret you have kept from your partner? She moved from her hometown to be with me. Her best friend from that hometown was in treatment for cancer. She would go visit him periodically. I was good friends with him too. She had not visited him in quite a while, maybe a year, and couldn't make it back for Christmas. She sent him a long letter and Christmas card, but messed up the address. He passed away suddenly, and the card ended up being returned to our home. I saw the returned letter in the mail and realized what happened. I threw it away and told her that she could have some solace in that he knew she was thinking about him before he passed. I will never tell her the truth. I would want to be lied to about this. Well done. I don't like mini golf. We went mini golfing on our first official date. It was fun because he is fun. Now we go mini golfing at least once a year on summer vacation. We bring the kids now, and it's this whole day. The kids love it. My husband talks about our first date, and the whole thing is so damn cute. But I hate mini golf. I'll never tell him. Why would I? It won't do any good. After 20 plus years it would just be mean. So every year I go and make the best of it. It's only fun because they're fun. I'm afraid that everyone having fun with their friends or family is the entire point of mini golf. I don't think anyone really loves it. It's all about being stupid and having fun with your loved ones, which it sounds like you're doing already. Speak for yourself. I fucking love mini golf. I would never share my own on here, for fear it would come out. But I did have a good friend in high school, late 80s, whose dad had a whole nother family 2 miles away, and kept it all a secret till he was 80-something. The kids were all similar ages. How you never ran into each other at a supermarket, baseball game, travel sporting high school event, beyond me, but he did it. I've always heard about these types of situations and wondered how someone is able to pull something like this off. Like, where does the one family think he goes every night? There were no cell phones, only home phones, so many men just said they had to work late, or were going to the gym after work, or were on a business trip. Also, people respected money more back then. Credit cards were barely invented in the late 70s for the masses. So even thinking of calling your husband in Chicago when you were in LA might be a $10 phone call for 5 minutes, which could buy 2% to 3% of your mortgage to check in, so no one did it. Imagine today your spouse is 30 minutes late for dinner, and you call, but it costs $10 to call. You might just wait. Even a call 20 miles from your house could be $10 for a decent call. My wife now lived 25 miles away in SoCal. Our phone bill was up to $400 a month in the early 90s. It was insane. We are still together today, so I guess it was worth it. It was the Wild West. I think the only secret I've kept is that she is honestly a terrible gift buyer. She is easily the sweetest, most caring person I've ever met, who would do anything for anyone. And when she buys gifts, in her heart of hearts she really thinks she did so good, and is so proud of herself. I will die with that secret because that beautiful soul does not need to be tarnished with that. But I am a grown man who loves The Office. Nothing about me screams I would like a music box that plays The Office theme. LOL. LOL, I feel that. Honestly, most gifts are just plastic junk that I'm now tasked with tossing in a drawer or throwing away and feeling bad about it. I wish nobody gave me gifts ever unless they were actually thoughtful or useful to me. I hate how Christmas and birthdays pressure people into buying junk. Found out while building an Ancestry.com family tree that my deceased father-in-law was married to another woman in another state when my wife was born, and divorced her and married my mother-in-law within a month of her birth. They were married 40 plus years when he died. I'm 100% certain my wife doesn't know this, and 99% certain my mother-in-law doesn't either. Or another possibility, could have been an estranged ex-wife and finally got the paperwork done before marrying current wife. My 28 male, stay-at-home wife, 28 female, thinks I make $80K a year. I made $170K this year, just at work. I have $2,000 from every paycheck, so $4K a month, going to a hidden high-yield saving account at 4.5% AP. So she thinks I make about $2,700 a paycheck. I also have an additional $4,900 in military disability that is untaxed that goes to the same account. So $8,900 untouched every month for the past 5 years. I have over $500K in this secret account. We still rent a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a 4-year plan to buy a house. Our budget is $400K in those 4 years. What she doesn't know is I bought 30 acres 3 years ago in cash. And in 5 years I'm going to have her build her dream house with custom plans to build on the land with a budget of $1.5 million budget and pay cash for it. You went from Shady to Romeo. I have never been more lonely in my life with him. I felt this way with my ex lots of nights falling asleep where she didn't want held like she used to and would push me away with tone but claim nothing was wrong. We would then be on opposite sides of the bed faced away from each other, and I would try to swallow the hurt. Nothing worse than feeling like an unwanted inconvenience to the person you love. Not dark at all on my part. The only reason I hesitate when he wants to use my phone is in case he sees A. how many tabs I have open and B. how much absolutely ridiculous trashy celebrity gossip I'm reading about. He wouldn't care, but I'd like to pretend I'm not rotting my brain in my spare moments for some reason. Now, when my dad passed away, he had a girlfriend I didn't care for. She tried to take his house and estate from me. Failed miserably, but I did have to hire a lawyer and waste a day standing over her while she poked around looking for things that she thought were hers. I found out about a year later that she was involved in an art forgery ring. Found out from a NYT article, even. My dad would have found it kind of funny though. He loved having crazy stories. And crazy girlfriends, I guess. I'm female and asked my male coworker for a hug. He's twice my age, so to me it was a dad hug. My own dad's dead, but my husband would consider it cheating. I had asked my husband for a hug the same day, and he had refused because he wanted me to pull myself together first. My coworker saw I was a mess and agreed to hug without hesitation. Ugh, you get yourself together, husband. Denying a hug is like not turning over a stuck turtle. The fact that your husband would consider a hug cheating is toxic as hell. I'm sorry he's so insecure. My older sister has been insane for about 2 years now, and we have been virtually no contact for the entire time. My husband thinks it's no big deal to me because of how dumb the situation is, but it really eats me up inside every single day. I can't talk to him about how much it hurts me because he just laughs it off. I talk to my therapist just so I can release some of the tears and hurt I'm feeling because I just want my sister back. I, 40s M, started with watching Emily in Paris without waiting for my wife, 40s F. This is the darkest secret yet. I hid cash to pay for a lawyer. I was up to about $12,000. My husband was always drunk, and it was destroying our family. He retired from the toxic corporate job and stopped self-medicating with alcohol, so with therapy and time, we are in a good place now. He was pretty gobsmacked when I told him about it. We used some of the cash to pay for house maintenance, but there's still about $10,000 locked up in the house for an emergency fund. I was cleaning out our office and found a random, unmarked notebook. Turns out my now husband was once lamenting the fact that an attractive, female coworker would never be into him. This was several months after we started dating, had said, "I love you," and spent every weekend together. It was a punch to the gut. Said he loved me but was pining after a coworker, and apparently I'm ugly enough to be with him. A lot changes in somebody's mind with time. I know I definitely don't care about the people I wrote romantic journal entries about in the past, and it would make me sad if I was married to someone who found those entries and felt bad about them. If it bothers you, you should talk to him about it, but I'd hazard a guess that if this happened some time ago, he's likely gotten over that infatuation and realized something about you was better for him in the long run than what someone else had going on. I never told them how much I missed a big opportunity in my career because I didn't want them to feel guilty about needing my support. I just want my wife back. I want my wife who asked how my day was. I want my wife who reached for my hand on long car rides. I want my wife who would search slowly for my body in the dark. Depression is a thief. Yes, she has seen help, medicated. It's been 10 years. I know she loves me. But I wish I could tell her that her depression has robbed us both. That I know it's not her fault. That I wish that even through the depression, she would see that I'm still here. I still care, and I yearn for the woman I fell in love with. I yearn for her to care for me the way I care for her. I love my wife about 5% less than before her affair. We've done a bunch of therapy, together and individually, and have reconciled and are doing well, but it's been years and at this point I don't think that 5% is ever coming back. I kinda miss it. About 6 months after I gave birth to my daughter, I got pregnant again. My husband and I were living at his parents' house at the time rent-free, yet we still barely made enough money to support one child. I was devastated when I found out, not only because of the financial burden, but also because my mental health made it a struggle to be a good mom to the kid I already had. I wanted an abortion, and my husband agreed with me that it was the best option for us at the time. He was supportive and had an upbeat attitude about the whole thing right up until we checked in at the clinic. He broke down in the lobby, and while he still supported my decision, he just couldn't keep up the facade that he was okay with this any longer. Up until that moment, I had absolutely no clue how sad he was about this, and my heart broke because I should have noticed. This didn't change my decision, however. They make you get an ultrasound before the procedure, and I decided that I would try to spare him a small amount of guilt. He didn't accompany me to the ultrasound, so when it was done I went back to the lobby and gambled on a lie I hoped he would believe. I told him the ultrasound tech couldn't find a heartbeat and that the fetus was not viable, but they would still perform the D&C instead of waiting to miscarry. He seemed so relieved that the decision to end this life was no longer ours to make. I genuinely think he believed it, but if he didn't, he has never called me out on it or questioned it. That was a decade ago, and I still feel like shit for lying. But at least he doesn't have to live with the guilt or the regret for a decision I would have still made regardless. I didn't use Vantablack to paint their darkroom because it was far too expensive. I only used regular Dulux black paint. However, they and everyone they show believe it is Vantablack and therefore think it is amazing. I suppose this secret is not as dark as it should be. What's the darkest secret you have kept from your partner? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.